Yeah, when before I hit go on the recording, it says what are you going to talk about? I have no idea, but I just feel such a it's almost like the scripture that says if you don't share, the rocks will cry out. Like, I don't have a choice in the matter. I need to get out what I feel is happening inside me with some messages. And one of the messages that came while I was just out walking and experiencing nature and was about how we live in such a patterned, conditioned, emotional thought loop that we're not even aware of. This is exactly at the crux of the work I do with emotional rewiring. We are products. We are products. You and me, we are direct products and the result of our repeated emotional states. And when you realize that emotion is the vibration or the frequency that it's our radio station that we're tuned to. So when we struggle with, anger, or we have a lot of resentment, or people pleasing, or go through my book with the monster tracks, the monster under the bed. In fact, let me just tell you, well, I'll put a pin in that, but that's what becomes our outward reality, is what our inward emotional state keeps creating for us. It's based on the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is really not your friend. When you think of it, you've watched The Secret maybe, and it talks about, oh yeah, you can make all this money and you get the right parking spot and you attract, yeah, well, that's if you're starting from that point emotionally, energetically, then yeah, the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer because of this. And if you're in the poor category, I don't mean just financially, I just mean in every way, that is already your set point. So you're going to keep attracting because of those patterns that are playing out repeatedly, the thought and the emotion loop that are basically in the driver's seat of your outward reality. So without knowing that, you can do visualization and affirmations all day long, but it's the energy that's behind them. And sure, whenever I have manifested something in my life intentional, it starts from a desire. It starts from a place of I want or I need. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, that is where, we're going to notice those things that we want to create is going to come from usually something we don't want in our life. So that there's nothing wrong with that being a starting point. But if you stay in a I want, oh please, and many people when they pray, it's praying with fear. It's praying from an energy of I want it, oh please heal this person, or hey, help me with this and help me with that. My eyes, you have there's a panic, fear-based desperation energy behind it. And that's why it's more frustrating actually, because you're having an expectation that God is going to answer your prayer, but yet God says, the ancient text and the principles of the universe say that everything is created with faith. Faith is not an outward action only. Faith starts from an inward alignment with gratitude in advance. Hebrews 11. Gratitude in advance. I'm not praying out of desperation. I'm not praying, because I want and I need. It's sure, start like that and then realize to access the frequency of God is a heart of gratitude as if it's already done. The substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things not seen externally yet. Well, how would you feel if that were true for you right now? How would you feel if you had financial abundance? How would you feel if you felt worthy and good enough and confident and happy and fulfilled? How would that feel? And go find the feeling. This is what we do every day in my emotional rewiring, because it's got to be repeated. You can't just do it, go, okay, I'm good. Because you're going to get sucked back, because the law of attraction keeps sucking you back into your current vibration, your current thought and emotion loop, the current patterns you've already that I've brought you where you are now. So it's going to take practice, intention, number one, understanding the science, the law behind it, understanding that everything you see, the ancient text says, everything visible was created by the invisible. What does that mean? It means everything you see started here, started with an emotion, started with a powerful creative force called faith. Everything you see. Look around in your environment right now. Everything you see, even I believe, even in what I'm seeing in nature, this all started in the Creator's mind and his intention. Faith is what created the universe is without end. Faith is what we have been instilled with. We have the power of our Creator. Why? Because we're the offspring. We have it inherently. We just don't understand the code. We don't understand how to access it or how to use it. So I'm going to turn around. So once you understand the principles that are the laws, they're not just principles, they're the laws of nature, laws of creation. And then you move to observer of you and how, without judgment, can't have judgment, or you can and you will, but then you realize, oh, I'm having judgment. So, okay, I need to move to the pure observer place. How is my life reflecting, or what are the emotional states that I'm continually in that keep perpetuating my outward reality? Wow, when you do that, and then you realize how to actually go in and find. We have 4 pillars in Ignite Vision, this program that I have, where we practice it every day. Every exercise is based on your identity, seeing problems in a different light, realizing the only time there is now, and how to access authentic gratitude, and then let go and let God. We call it relax and allow. So these are the things that I'm steeped in right now, which is so exciting to me. I've actually been steeped in them for a while, which brings me to the little pin before I sign off here that I put in about my book, because I realized that my book needed a little bit of I realized, oh, do you hear that? Like, I can take credit for that? I cannot. It came as a result of letting go of the need to control and drive everything. I have been in a position, in a situation where I continually notice how I get back in the driver's seat. I drive it. I'm a good driver. I produced a lot in my life from driving energy. However, it doesn't lead to fulfillment, and a lot of times it leads to imbalance and damaging relationships, things like that. So I can't take credit. But the inspired idea hit me when I was relowing to, like, you know what? Go revisit your book. Go revisit, because there's some things that need to be tweaked. So the last 3 days, I've been just head down, thinking I was just going to add a couple more monster tracks. If you haven't read my book, it's The Monster Under the Bed. Don't buy it right now, though, because a new edition's going to come out. But there's 10 monster tracks, and since the book came out 5 years ago, I have discovered at least 2 more. I'm wondering and processing about the third if I'm going to put it in. But yeah, Control never made the first edition. You know why? Because it's my primary one, and I didn't know it, because this is what I'm talking about. You don't know what you don't know. Transformation, ahas happen in the I didn't even know that I didn't know area. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But so the book is being re-editioned and edited, and so stay tuned for that. But anyway, just wanted to share some thoughts this morning. Love you guys.